Yeah. Okay. We're good? We ready?
Good. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 79 of Read This Way. I always have to look up in the top corner to check. Even though I'm the one that types it all out and stuff. I'm like, hang on, which one are we? Yep, cool. That's the one. Yeah, welcome back. How you doing, man?
Welcome back. I'm doing okay. Damn hot. It's a little spicy around here.
It's disgusting.
We've had a solid week of 30 degrees Celsius, people. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Plus, yes, 30 degrees average throughout the entire day. So that's from 24 hours of heat. So sleeping has not been good. And everything is wet and sweaty and
we had a couple
hot.
of 40-degree days. It was really gross.
Nice. It's not nice. So here we are, sweating our balls, wet, and enjoying. Sorry, such a terrible thing to say.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just keep going.
Just edit that out.
Nah, that's too much work.
Leave that in there. Yeah. So we're gonna start with reading again. I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's bugger all news, so I might cover some. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You want to go first, or you want me to go first? Are you? Okay. Cool. Where you start?
So we'll pretend that it's a week ago. Undead Unluck just finished. I was completely up to date. Whoa, that was crazy. I mean, I think I did pretty well catching up, but
you did. You powered through like 100 chapters in a few days. Let's be honest, it's been a few days.
It was probably closer to 60, but still, it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's one of the smartest power systems and intricate world that just both mesh together very well and are very well thought out. And you wouldn't really get that from the beginning of the series with all the titty grabbing and
all the
shenanigans.
And it feels really disconnected and not sure where it's going initially. And I'm just wondering whether that was the case, or this was their intention from the get-go, was they had this big intricate plot and world and series that they wanted to tell, whether they started off and went, this is a really cool idea, and then went from there. I'd be curious to know whether they did that. But from what people have been saying, like you said, it's intricate and it looks really well thought out and really well put together. So I have a feeling that this was just their intention from the get-go.
Yeah, it still was a weird choice.
The whole series is weird though, right?
It is. It's very meta. So without spoiling anything, our world is the canon world of the series.
So the world we live in is
correct.
Yep. Well, that's interesting.
And the manga that you've just finished reading is the story that one of the characters in universe created. Just to get
even that is meta.
Better. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I'm sure we all kind of. It has a happy ending. That explains
a little bit, because like the first chapter starts with that meta environment.
Yeah.
You start with a story
the anime or the manga that she's been reading.
Yeah, finishing up.
From
but you
me
see
to
it
you.
as
But yeah,
yeah.
and it's been rebranded as Undead Unluck essentially in the final iteration of the world, because halfway through they do a time loop and Fuko stops leaning on Undead as the supporting main character and really comes into her own.
Well, he disappears for quite a broad period.
Pretty much like the entirety of part 2. Like he's on the sun binding the master rules that are meant to be like interfering with the game. So like death, soul, language, beast. There was a couple others. Time.
Man, these guys must have a really big whiteboard. It's all I can think. They've got a lot of string, a lot of pins, and a lot of whiteboard.
So much. Like, admittedly, the last couple of beats did feel a little bit fast, but since the loop happened, they were kind of operating at breakneck speed anyway. They would give
they were just pushing stuff out one after another.
Yeah, and they were like mini arcs. They were like a nice, like, it was almost like short stories in the manga. And they were all like slowly edging towards the final goal, and they've got like 11 of these master rules, and you're getting towards the end and there's like still 5 of them left, and you're like, I don't know how you're gonna there's only 30 chapters left, guys. And yeah, something happens and they pull a fast one, and you end up just going, oh cool, we're just time skipping to fighting against God now. Neat. Cool. That was probably the only part where I was like, oh, maybe they did get cancelled, but it all felt pretty natural.
Well, it was still pulling numbers. It's not like it was
it was
crouching.
popular, but it was towards the back of the magazine apparently, in Japan. So it was still getting numbers, but not maybe the numbers that they wanted. And also being on Disney Plus didn't really help it at all.
No, it probably doesn't help anything. Which is a shame, because there's actually quite a few really good series on there.
I mean, Dan to Dan had Crunchyroll and Netflix, and that, as well as its production quality, really influenced its popularity surge. And I just don't think that happened for Undead Unluck. Yeah. And I guess
that happened that way because Netflix basically pick up anything that Science Saru do. I think they've got some sort of connection or contract with them to just keep rolling stuff out.
Yeah, ever since Devilman, right?
Yeah, Devilman was their first time around. But I think Undead Unluck is going to. I'm hoping we get the rest of the series, but I don't know if they will. The Studio David do keep going regardless. And the amount of effort they put into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I know it's a popular series, but it's not like insanely popular.
No, we're meant to be getting a 1-hour special. Will air winter 2025. Not sure whose winter.
Well, theirs, I'm guessing.
That would make sense.
Yeah, not ours. So
not ours.
Nowish, I'm guessing. Since we're in the middle of summer. I hate it when they say that, because you don't know when that is. Give us a date.
Just even if they just said, second quarter.
Yeah, I love the quarters. They're great. It gives us a general idea of where things are going to happen without too much stress. But this is technically it should be first quarter that they're rolling that out. But anyway, It's good to hear that they're still working
yeah.
on it. They're still pushing forwards, and I can't wait to continue watching it because the anime actually did really well. It was well put together, and it looked nice.
Yeah.
Quite happy with
I
the
haven't.
characters and that.
I still haven't actually finished season 1. I got up to the end of Spoil, so I think the end of part 1, and I haven't gone back to part 2 because it was a split season, I think.
Yeah, they're all split seasons. Let's face it. Yeah. I know they say season 1, season 2, 12 episodes here, 12 episodes there.
Oh, but it's all just... yeah. So a little quick. We'll talk a little bit about Sakamoto. Both. We'll talk manga and anime.
We'll talk about both. Okay. Well, we can talk about the manga quickly and say it's awesome.
Yeah,
hasn't stopped being awesome since it started.
I'm really enjoying the mind reading partnership with Sakamoto and Shin like we had in the early days, but we haven't seen a lot lately because they've been separated. It's really nice to see them.
It's good to see the
off each other like that again.
Back, yeah, and it's nice to put into perspective their relationship early on in the series because you didn't really have much of a guide as to why he revered Sakamoto so much, except that he was his teacher. But getting all the backstory explains a lot more. Yeah, explains a lot more as to why he thinks he's so awesome. Well, he is. Let's face that. But it's and him rolling out that it was the point where he was actually in the order as well was nice.
Yeah,
nice little nod there, giving us an idea of where the time point is in his life, I guess. So yes, the manga absolutely spectacular. Yes, you should read it.
So hang on. So I can't remember. Was the order a part of the JAA?
Yeah,
they were
it's a sub.
The elite.
Yes, it's the absolute elite mythos essentially of their realm. Like
there was like so many different organizations being bounced around at one point that I was just like my pupils just like started to drift.
Yeah, because the JAA is just one of many around the world of assassination organizations, which is what X is trying to get rid of. But it's the one that Sakamoto was a part of, so that's the one we hear of the most.
Yeah. Plus, because we're in Japan,
which I believe is the Japanese Assassin Association. Yeah. So yeah, JAA. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice having it all. Art hasn't dropped. Story beats have been great. Sakamoto's still been Sakamoto. That's what I love about it. It's the way they tell the story, the way it switches from old Sakamoto to new Sakamoto, and the way his personality changes from one to the other. They do flawlessly. Like they don't let one creep into the other. It's like they've got a division line between the two. And how freaking ruthless he is when he was younger and why he had the reputation he had is fantastic to see. I love Sakamoto in beast mode, essentially.
Sorry, I saw something that really confused me. That was a little bit of a side thing for the next manga that we're about to talk about.
Okay. Well, first we'll talk about the anime.
Yes.
So we'll talk about the Sakamoto anime.
I think because we were talking a little bit about it before the show started. I think we've landed on what it is about Sakamoto that the anime isn't quite delivering. And so far, it's the fidelity of the action scenes. They're adequate, but they're not mind-blowing or eye-melting.
And this is like a big component of the series, and I am a little bit concerned at this point that they are not bringing out the guns where they should be, in the metaphorical sense as well as the practical sense. It feels a little bit lazy, honestly. I don't know whether the pressure's gotten to them or they were trying to market towards a younger crowd. I know there's violence and blood and stuff, but it's not like what it is. It's kind of like what they've done with Bleach. You know how Bleach is like the manga is like chock full of these great action and there's blood everywhere and it's fantastic in that sense. Then you watch the animation, it feels like it's just turned down like a notch just to be safe. And that's what this feels like. Like it's just dropped a notch to try and be safe in some way. And even though it started off like the first episode felt really good. This, the preceding episodes afterwards just haven't really hit the way
I'm wondering
they should
if
have.
There wasn't enough time put in or enough money put in.
This is an issue that they should really be focusing on if they're going to be producing a series that is globally popular. So it's not just popular in one country. This thing is popular in almost every country that it goes into. They're getting manga sales all over the place and selling tanks like crazy. So it's not like it's not a popular series. I feel like Jump has a responsibility to make sure that this stuff is represented correctly. And I'm sure they do it with a few other of their more delicate series. One Piece. And yeah, I know. I know. It has its moments.
Will rave against for the manga, but the anime has problems.
Of course.
I'm really hoping that, like, with the current way that they're addressing the anime, that it's going to fix all of these, but it's yet to be determined.
Yeah. So I think this is a time issue. So they're still in that scenario where, okay, we've got the license to do this. Let's announce we're doing it. Let's say we're going to do it. It's going to be released in January. Start work on it in December. What? Why?
So,
why would you do that?
TMS Studios TMS Entertainment are apparently the ones that have gotten the production. Just trying to figure it out, because saying that they worked on Dr. Stone, Relife, Orange Fruits Baskets, Megalobox.
Some of these, really.
They were producers on some, but all the ones that I just listed off were them being the studio behind it. No, they were the studio. Yeah.
So what?
Oh, but they also did they produced Cheat Skill. So shit.
That's why we're at where we're at. Are we going to be expecting some really terrible?
They also produced Undead Unlock,
which looks great. So what is? There's so much inconsistency in their work. So much.
It doesn't make sense.
It must just be the team that's on it. That's all it is.
I reckon I'm leaning more towards not necessarily them being a black company, but maybe not too far off.
And what is a black company, Brad?
It's the terminology that's used for the company animation studios in Japan that abuse their animation stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Like with overwork and whatnot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forget that it's
No,
not
that's all right. I
necessarily
thought I'd
common
just clear that up
knowledge.
quickly.
You know, like the studio that was being poked fun at the beginning of Zom 100.
It's TMA or is it TMS?
That wasn't TMS. That was the studio that did Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which I can't.
It's a very
recall.
similar name though.
Yeah,
It's a
it
very
was
similar
like
name.
an abbreviation.
Yeah, they have a bad rap, those guys. But they okay. So I'm a little bit concerned that
Yeah.
it's mediocre now and it's actually going to get worse. And it scares me because the manga is just fantastic.
OLM.
And people are gonna OLM. Okay, yeah. It's just a 3-letter thing.
Yeah.
That's what threw me off. I'm concerned that people won't read the manga because they've watched the anime and gone, this is kind of eh.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'll keep watching it and hopefully it will get better, but my hopes aren't super high. I really wish another company had picked it up.
Yeah.
I feel like someone else would have done a better job with it.
I mean, we're simps for them, but could you imagine if Trigger got their hands on it?
Bones or Trigger.
Bones would have been really cool, actually.
Yeah.
What are
I
Bones
feel like
currently
Bones'
working on?
vibe, I feel like their vibe would have done really well for Sakamoto. Or Production IG. One of those two, I think, would have done it pretty well. And would have done it justice. They would have produced it well.
Are you still up to date with Kindergarten Wars?
I was just reading the latest chapter.
Heading into its swan song era.
Yeah, which doesn't surprise me too much. It's definitely not one of the most popular series around. But I do adore it. It's a fantastic series. A lot of great characters, and the action is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Cool premise too. Yeah. Behind the whole thing. Is definitely good. But it's finishing up, right?
Yeah, so it's actually going on a 2-month break, and then resuming in March for the final arc.
Okay. Final arc.
So I mean,
we'll get
we could still be getting another 12 months out of it.
Yeah. Which is cool. And anybody who hasn't been reading it needs to read it because it's a lot of fun. The characters are a lot of fun. The premise is a lot of fun.
I need to catch up on it.
It also has a lot of moments that are really heartfelt and sometimes a lot more innocent than what you'd expect from a bunch of murderous criminals. So it's a great read. It really is.
We got Hakutaku has ended up with chapter 18 today in Jump Plus.
Hakutaku.
I never read it.
I don't know what that is.
I think it was a gag manga.
Okay. Number 8. Oof. That's hard, man. I hope they go again. Try something different.
No, chapter 18.
18. Well, yeah, that's still just as bad.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, I did. I think I looked at that briefly, and it didn't interest me too much. Is all it is. The art wasn't anything too different. It's nice. It's clean. It's just a bit samey.
So it looks like Kill Blue is also going into its final arc.
Okay. That honestly ran a lot longer than I thought it would. It's early chapters, like chapter 1 through 5, are actually a lot of fun if you like goofy humor, school environment kind of stuff. It kind of fell flat a little bit for me because it is a gag series at its core, and it just didn't time well with me. I didn't like it, but the artwork was very interesting. It wasn't your stock standard stuff. It gave a little bit of extra texture to its characters, who were bizarre as hell. But give it a read if you're into fun stuff, funny gag manga stuff.
It's a little unclear. So it looks like both Kill Blue and Nue's Exorcist are getting extension on their pages, so they'll both be having 23-page chapters. One Kill Bill, Kill Bill, Kill Blue will be commemorating its ultimate decisive battle.
Okay.
And Nue's Exorcist, its great reception. So they're both in volume 8s of their tongues, both celebrating nearly 2 years, I think.
It's a fair stretch. They've done a fair stretch, considering that early on both of the series, I didn't think either were that really different or exciting in any particular
Exorcist way. Was kind of very samey.
At least it felt pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it lacked punch in this range of comics because you had other titles that were kind of similar. So,
but it's clawed its way up. It's apparently pulling some pretty decent numbers.
Well, it's still pulling 13K. Kill Blue's still pulling 20K. So they're doing okay. This is Reed's views on. Sorry, I'm going by
Manga
views
Plus
on the app. Yeah. So I usually sort of keep track of things, but I'm super confused. So things like Me and Robico, which is doing like 5K on average reads, because I don't think it hits very hard on the international level, but it hits really hard at the local level. So people really, really love the series because of how goofy and offbeat it is, and it's got that certain sense of Japanese humor to it. So it handles
significantly
really well.
Down that list. Hey,
yeah,
that's disappointing.
Still keeps plugging along. Any other series you want to?
Yes.
Talk about?
So
was Marriage Doctrine was coming around as well.
What do you mean?
No, I might be wrong. As far as closing up, ending.
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't know. I actually haven't been reading it for a little bit. I need to really catch up on that too.
Okay. Yes.
Boichi, the artist for Dr. Stone, among other things, Sunken Rock, the One Piece Ace novels, all the manga adaptation, will be launching a new Western bi-weekly series called The Martial King. I think starting Friday. So it'll be actually might be a kaiju release day. That'd be nice. Have something else alternating.
Something else, yeah, because I feel like kaiju really releases just by itself, doesn't it? When it does, when it actually releases. What are they on a 5-weekly rotation at the moment or something like that?
I don't even think it really has.
No, it's probably not even that. It's insane. It's insane, their rotation. It's really frustrating, actually. But yeah, that'll be most interesting. I'm curious to know where that goes and what it's about.
So I misread what, because we're going to talk about Embers, the new
Oh yeah. Please do. We will.
the new soccer anime or football.
Manga, not anime. Will be an anime.
Did I say anime?
Guaranteed. You did, but it will be. I can almost guarantee it at this point.
So the artist of Blue Lock is looking forward to the release. The artist for Embers was a background assistant for Blue Lock, with very dynamic and sharp artwork. So this could be I wasn't going into it. I was like, I'm probably gonna drop this after this chapter. God damn, it hit surprisingly well. I really like the art.
Yeah, the art's beautiful and the characters are charismatic.
Yes. Oh, I love that we're going full delinquent series.
Yes, I love delinquent series.
It's so good. I adore his dumbass friends. With
they're fantastic.
The pompadour and stuff.
Yeah, pulling the
Hey Jack.
Pulling the baseball bat out on the field. I just I love those characters so much.
They're so good.
And I love their camaraderie and their support for their friend to the extent that they do. And I hope to God that we get to see more of them as we progress. Because I have a little feeling that he may have left them behind at the other school, but I hope that they
he's only in high school now. Dude was like nearly 7 foot.
Yeah, he's like a massive,
built like a
dude.
Brick shithouse.
But yeah, it just had a cool vibe.
Really fun.
A real cool vibe.
I'm kind of disappointed that we're not gonna have any more of the old man instructor from the.
I don't know. School. I think he might turn up again a little bit later on.
I hope so. Because I was really liking their dynamic.
Fantastic. Yeah. Really, really good. I love those sort of relationships between mentors and their characters below. That the way the mentor can see the frustration in the younger person is fantastic. I really like it. It was a lot of fun, and I hope it keeps carrying that sense of Blue Lock was all about winning and who's got the best skills and all that sort of stuff. Whereas this gave me more of a haiku kind of vibe.
Yeah, but with like that the grit of a delinquent series.
Yeah. Well, haiku kind of is early on because he's kind of an outcast, delinquent kind of character initially. But not proper. He's not. He's just seen that way. He's not actually a delinquent character. He's just seen
so long since I read the start of Haikyuu.
Yeah. Whereas this guy's like full delinquent, and I hope he just messes up some people along the way. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Looking forward to it.
Just has some epic little shots.
Yeah.
And that there's a shot later on.
Scene where he's like when he's like towering over him on the field. Yeah, so good.
Some really nice perspective shots of them being completely stretched out to give the energy. Just so good. Yeah, that one.
Oh, so good.
That was cool.
I love that. And his face. It's the chin on his face.
I think the delinquent manga soul in this is what's going to carry it. Like that doofy face, it feels like 80s, 90s delinquent manga. And like you look at his friends and they are ripped straight out of that as well. Like especially the dude with the pompadour being like, this is a man's hairstyle.
Yeah. I love them. I really do love them. They're great. great characters, and I wish we saw more of them in the series, but they kind of gone out of style a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're all about the pretty boys now.
Did you
Which
want to
is,
use that as a segue?
all in well. We can. That's segue into quickly before we segue, Kagurabachi.
Yes.
They've the whole announced the anime now.
Wait, they actually have? I didn't hear about
Yep.
this.
They haven't started production yet, but the studio is creating an entirely separate studio to tackle it. I have a feeling that they're going to tackle this correctly. So they are.
Do we know
I
the
guess
studio?
taking the. Yes, you've got me on the spot. It's not one that I knew. I knew I should have. I should have looked this up.
Well,
Well before,
Oshinoko
because
has
you're gonna.
got season 3 key visuals.
Yep.
I really just want to see the the car crash that is the ending animated. I think that'll be fun for everybody. Season 2, because what I really liked about the series was that it did kind of what Beat in Motion did, but it looked at the underbelly and the dark side of all the different industries and how they were interconnected, and then had its own little drama narrative, which I wasn't that interested in. I was more really enjoying the peek behind the curtain. But yeah, apparently the manga is pretty bad when it comes to its ending, and
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't finished it, so Blue Exorcist is also back for its. I don't know if that's going to be the final arc in the anime, but it's getting pretty close. Also,
Pictures?
Who's that?
It's a small studio. They've purposely picked a small studio. Sorry, you finished doing. I'm going to look up.
So the final Undead Unluck volume will include a newly drawn story in its final volume as well, in its April release, which I'm noticing quite a few cancelled series generally have that extra added story into it. So I don't know. There's still no actual information. What's up? Did you find?
Well, there's a couple of things I'll say. So the studio, Cygames Studio, did the Blade Runner Blackout series on or movie on Netflix, which looks great, by the way. It looks fantastic. And if they take the same style of care and work that they've done with that, then we're going to get something pretty nice. They've done a lot of other things I haven't watched. They did not, did they? Yes, they did. Okay, this is going to be so good. So, I don't know if you've seen the Uma Musume Pretty Derby animation. That sequence about the people that are like half horse and they race in racing, like horse racing, but it's people.
Were they the cute anime horse girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one?
Yeah.
There's only the one horse girl anime, right?
I think so. No, there isn't. But this is the one that's going around the internet a bit. You'll see it. You would have seen it around. But the action in that thing is just phenomenal.
Pretty derby.
Gorgeous. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow, there's 3 seasons of that already?
Action sequence. Yeah.
Good lord.
And there you go. Yes, that's their series
Right.
and their game. It's a video
Have
game.
you? Did you read any of Monochrome Days? It's one of the newer series on Jump Plus. So the mangaka has revealed that the series reception has managed for it to avoid being cancelled by Volume 2. The series is now striving for full volumes, and the mangaka asks readers to support the work by reading and purchasing its volumes, which was pretty much the exact same call to action that No Name had, but it didn't manage to sneak
Cool enough
under
people.
to survive past Volume 2. So
Yeah.
it seems like even on Manga Plus, there are still
struggling.
numbers that they need to hit before the axe comes down. There was also a animated PV for Hero Organization for its
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
first volume.
So yeah, you're not on this yet, are you?
No, I haven't
Not
yet.
on
I
me.
keep forgetting about it.
No.
I'm sorry.
So it's getting super popular.
Okay.
Every
Well, that's
time
good.
I go to read a chapter, the numbers are just going bump, 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 and going up. It's pretty smartly done. It's got a good balance of action and intrigue, and there's a more more in-depth subplot that's happening in the series. And it's really nice to see a mecha and a manga sort of come out again. I haven't seen one for a long time. And it's performing pretty well in the sense of where it's going, what it's doing. It is very shonen about its storytelling and characters and all that sort of stuff. So it's nothing new, but it's not bad.
I mean, it's just bumped out of the top 20 on Manga Plus.
Okay.
So it's up there.
Yeah. It's pulling decent numbers. So it's averaging on Manga Plus, it's averaging about 37K. Which is a fairly decent number amount. That's basically what Dandadan was pulling before the anime came out.
Yeah, right.
So it's not like they're a slouch.
Oh,
they're doing pretty well.
It's top 5.
Yeah, they're like
that's
150.
amazing.
Yeah, they've really jumped up. The anime has done absolute wonders for that series. Their Hero Organization's pulling 55. So they're pulling a pretty decent amount of numbers, which is great.
Metaphor
It'll be a good
Fantasia
series
is pulling some pretty decent numbers as well.
What is that?
That's the Atlas game, the Persona type.
Okay.
It's number 9, so it's like top 10 currently.
I know. Ooh. Speaking of, I know this was before because you spoke about it before, and I was going to bring it up, but I was looking at something else. Was Beaten Motion? Beaten Motion, Mappa.
Yes.
Mappa have picked it up.
Yes, you did say this. I remember.
Yeah, I said to you that they had picked it up. So it'll be, I'm guessing it's going to get a Netflix release between Mappa and their contract.
Yeah, right.
But I think they might be able to pull it off. They did an absolutely stunning job on Ranma. They're such one of those studios where they do some really cool stuff, and then they do some really bad stuff, and then they do some really cool stuff, and then they look like they're a black company, and then they're not, and then they are, and it's just it goes backwards and forwards a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that black company thing sort of extends into the quality of their animation as well. So stuff gets better when they're doing the Black Company stuff, and then when they stop doing it, it gets worse. So I don't want to be that guy that says Black companies are good. I'm just saying that that's just the trend.
Yeah. I think they have a lot of crunch at Mappa.
Yeah.
Um,
They probably do. Though I reckon they might be starting to like flow that out a bit more. Now that they're picking more series up, they're sort of spreading the series out through the year. So
yeah.
it feels like they're like spreading the butter a bit better. On yeah, I know. I couldn't think of anything else.
On the metaphorical toast.
Toast, yes. Maybe. I could be horribly wrong and they're doing terrible, torturous things to people. I don't know.
So this is going to be a pretty big year for Bones too.
Nice.
They've got the
Loved and boned.
End of My Hero Academia. I'm assuming with season 8, because from what I saw of season 7, there doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot left for the last season.
And they only just picked up, didn't they? So they haven't been doing the series all the way through. They've just picked up season 7.
No, they've been doing it all the way through, I think.
No, there was a new studio that picked up.
6, 5, 4. Nah. Well, they've been shifting it around their studios, I think, but it's all been Bones.
Righto.
They've also picked up Vigilantes. So that's coming out this year as well as Gachi Rakuda. So Bones picked up the spiritual successor to Soul Eater as well.
Nice. Ooh.
This one's TBA.
They've got a lot of work ahead of them, don't they?
Skate the Infinity
there's some
2.
big projects. Okay.
Apparently, we're getting a season 2 to Skate the Infinity, which is amazing. I did not expect that. It was not on my bingo card.
It wasn't a super popular series.
I love that shit.
It was really goofy.
Yeah, I don't know when that's meant to be hitting, but I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
They've got a few of their film studios actually working on. They've got Vigilantes and Gachi Rakuta being worked on by their film studios, which is interesting.
So higher quality we're expecting, though. What we've seen from Vigilante is it's a much higher quality than what they've been producing for.
So nice.
Yeah.
There's been some. There is slight censorship, but I really don't. One of the main characters wears tights now, and
what? Realistically, they just run around naked.
Well, you just have booty
pretty
hanging
much
out. Like it's not earth-shattering, like, oh, look at what they've done to my girl. Well, some people are saying that, but
and look, it's not integral to the story, right? This is a design choice to help lower the age, I guess, like they've been doing with My Hero for the past how many years?
Yeah.
I guess they can't steer away from the last few seasons. They're going to have to make it a bit more aggressive in the last few seasons or last season.
So
last season, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. There we go.
Please do.
Make it big. So yeah, Pop Step is going from this on the right.
Yep.
To this on the left. That's it.
It's just the same. They've just changed the color.
They've literally added the absolute territory is now covered with a little bit of tights.
Yeah.
You're still gonna see just as much ass.
Yay! Like it's not something that I'm like. That's not the purpose of this show. It's
no. Not at all.
No,
but like that's the big complaints is that there's censorship.
Complaints? Oh,
I
that's
know.
far from censorship.
I know. I know.
That's a design choice. Simple as that.
I'm just really
And it'll
excited to
work in
see
everyone's favor. And yeah. It's
Vigilantes.
going to
Oh,
be a good series. And there was like so much talk of it never ever happening.
yeah, it's been done for like what, 2 years?
Or at least 12 months, if not a little bit longer. No, you'd be right. It'd be close to 2 years that it's been done for.
Nope. 2022 it ended.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, the years. They pass so quickly.
That's
It's
crazy.
terrible.
I didn't think it was that long ago.
Let's
But
stop
yeah.
talking about that. Let's stop talking about that. Oh, I'm going to step back.
Kaiju number 8.
Oh,
Sorry, what were you
yes. I
gonna
was
say?
about to say, I'm going to step back from anime and I'm going to go back to manga for a second.
Yeah.
The latest release of Kaiju number 8. Oh, yes.
It is incredible. The art is just smashing goals.
Every time they release a chapter, it feels like they're just dropping the beat every single time. It's just so cool. Like that's the only way to describe it, right? Is it's just cool. And every time he talks, he's just like, I love that they had that little goofy moment in the middle when they're all like, oh my god, he's turned into a monster, and he just turns around and goes, oh, sorry about killing the drones.
Yeah. Oh no, I broke the technology. I guess I have to work this shit off.
Yeah, it was good having that little sort of break in the middle to make sure that he was still the person he was.
I don't know how much more we're gonna have of this series. I kind of want it to
Honestly,
keep going, but
I
it feels like we're in the home stretch, right?
I feel like it needs to finish.
Before it
I know
sticks
it
around
sounds
too long.
terrible. Yeah.
It feels like they can't do much else. Like the current villain,
Die a hero, man. Gotta die a hero.
the villain that we had built up is now defeated. We have something else that's more of a force of nature than an actual villain.
This is my point. It's like once he's beaten this entity,
Yeah,
there is
it
nothing
either
that could stop him.
goes as this entity gets beaten and the series wraps up, or the entity escapes and it gets dragged out. If they have more ideas that are going to be good to drag it out and not, you know what I mean, but continue the story on as opposed to dragging it out, I'll be happy. But yeah, currently I think we're heading towards the end. We still probably might have like another 20 chapters left of some really badass fights,
which could be a year for them
with its
at the rate they
infrequent
release. Yeah. But I feel like if they did finish this up a lot sooner than people are expecting, it would be one of the best mic drops that has ever happened in manga. It'll be just like, I'm done here. Boop. And just walk away.
It's been going for about 5 years now. It is,
but what are we on? We're like 120?
121 with this one.
Yeah.
It's Jump Plus's big title though. It and Spy Family are like the two front runners.
Yeah.
Forerunners? First. They were first.
Yeah. So it's still plus. They haven't introduced it into the proper magazine.
Is. Like, oh yeah, I don't know actually.
Because it does not release on the schedule that the magazine would release. So.
And the same with Spy Family as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the draws to the Jump Plus platform, is being able to release infrequently. So between things like Kaiju number 8 and Shoujo X. They're sort of just
Yeah.
releasing when they want, but when they do finally drop, like Kaiju's pulling what 469K views. Like that's huge. Every time that they release one, which is
Spy Family's bi-weekly.
it's
Kaiju.
It's only second to One Piece.
Actually, no, they've been consistently bi-weekly. Well, except for the EX chapter that we got, which was just illustrations. But
I hate it when they do that.
they're always really.
I love it. Don't get me wrong; they're gorgeous.
You're like, ooh, new backgrounds.
But I'm expecting a chapter. Yeah.
Yeah. So Spy Family's 111. So they're only 10 chapters behind.
Okay. Really?
I'm surprised that like Black Clover's still up in the top 10 with its weird release schedule. It's like 3 monthly, but we get like 3 chapters.
What about Blue Exorcist? How's that hanging out?
I haven't read the last few chapters, but it's got to be almost over. It was almost over the last few chapters that I read.
It's got to be close. It's got to be close.
It's got to be damn close. Which I kind of hope it is, for her sake as well.
Yeah.
Wait, or am I getting that confused with another one? No,
no, you've got the right one. You got the right one. And you're probably thinking about what
D Grey Man as well.
Oh, D Grey Man.
No, D Grey Man. D Grey Man.
Is that still going?
Hana. Yeah.
Wow. You know, I've never actually watched or read any of that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
I've heard it's good.
I just had a mosquito. It is good. It's very. When was it? Early 2000s. So it feels very similar to Naruto Bleach. It's almost like a bit of a hybrid there, but it's got a lot of Christianity as its lore from memory. It's been a hot minute. But it's one of the really cool long running series that's got a like. What's the nice version of convoluted?
Convoluted's a nice word. It can be used in a negative format.
Well, yeah, it's got
complex.
Complex. That's the word I was after. Thank you. Yeah, really complex. The lore that's slowly set up leading up to the big plot twist that happens doesn't come out of nowhere, but it feels almost left of field, and it's really well done. And she damaged herself through I think she's got like RSI and stuff. Drawing too much.
Ouch.
Too hard, too fast. Similar to Hunter x Hunter and a lot of others.
Yeah. They just push themselves beyond what they should.
Yeah.
I know some people can do it and they risk their health when they do it, but
they shouldn't.
You probably shouldn't. So we can continue to get series.
Actually, did you see the short that I sent you about One Piece fans right now?
No, I haven't actually watched it yet. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So Oda has actually just dropped probably the biggest lore drop ever in One Piece, and it is just a massive mural that depicts potentially the past as well as the future of the story, and the entire fandom is just losing their mind at the moment. So we got this gorgeous double page spread.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just so much lore, and yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, he must have fun with that.
I reckon he did. And
I reckon he got one of his kids to draw it.
Well, it's meant to be. It's depicted as we're on the giant island at the moment, and one of the giants is like, "Oh yeah, this is just some ancient graffiti, probably just some kids' doodles." So there's a very good chance
that it's nothing at all, and everybody's freaking out over nothing.
Oh no,
it's everything.
It's everything. It's pretty much all that's going to be talked about for like the next 12 months or until the series ends.
Oh, calm down.
It's going to be
people.
So many theorizing at the moment. And then you got Chainsaw Man with war on Denji's lap.
This recent chapter was a lot of fun.
It really was.
Chainsaw Man. It's actually for the past 20 chapters, it's
the whole aging
like
ever since
like
Naoto
it was going
died.
up. Like its stakes and everything were going up, and then suddenly it just sort of went and it's just gone back down to Denji's level again. Like it turns so quickly from being this like serious moment, and it's just the goof just got turned up to level 10, and it's back to being silly again. And you know, him talking about the Blood Devil again,
yeah,
was a really sort of key moment, I think, in the character and the way he remembers the past and the way he is looking forwards, I guess.
I'm just quickly skimming through it again, and there is so much death in this chapter, but it's so
she
casual.
kills a lot of people.
It's just casual murder.
It's fun. Fun casual murder.
And Denji doesn't seem to care that much anymore, and I'm very interested to see how Asa feels about all this, because we haven't seen her for a while.
No, she's been off the books for a while.
It's all Yoru, and she is all gas.
She's having a lot of fun. And I think she's just seen her opportunity. She's going, okay, Chainsaw Man's at that point where I need him to be. Time to keep him there. And
they're really pumping up the him turning into a weapon so much that I'm starting to doubt that it'll happen.
It won't. It won't.
The original,
like, they'll go to, but Yoro won't do it because she will have feelings for him.
Don't forget though, the original promo art of Asa holding the chainsaw with the little chicken devil as well. I
Yeah, I know.
Thing's name was anymore.
I just don't think it will happen. Promo art's promo art, man.
It is. I know.
If it does, then all in well. Like things have happened that feel like that they weren't actually happening.
I mean, I was skeptical to Naoto being dead literally up until this chapter. I was like, why can't we just revive her with some blood?
Solidified it. Yeah. They really solidified that in and said, this has happened. No turning back now.
Even if you see her, she won't be her anymore.
Yeah,
and
because
that'll
they've
be
they've
the
been
same with the
reset.
Blood Devil too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know where. I'm just
Mm.
enjoying the ride. I'm just listening to the song.
It's at this point, it's definitely not the time to hypothesize or try and dig deeper into it. I think this is really at its point where you just need to read it week from week and just enjoy what's happening.
It's so
Because
bonkers.
it is, and it's driving the bonkers even harder than it previously has. And the whimsical nature of it as well. It's the concept of death and killing and murder and all that sort of stuff is just
Yeah.
it's a nothing
It
now.
it
The way
feels
that
like,
they were
yeah,
sitting
whimsical.
on
It's
top of,
so
yeah.
weird.
Well, it's like they're sitting on top of a rooftop watching the city burn. Gorgeous scene, by the way.
Even though
And
the
I'm just
Fire
like,
Devil's not there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it it's just a great
And
representation of the anarchy that's happening all
yeah,
over.
absolute insanity.
I love it. It's back on track, being Chainsaw Man again. I don't know,
Um
sort of like fluctuated in and out there for a little bit, I feel. But now it feels like it's got its roots back and it's heading in the direction it wants to.
Chainsaw Man adjacent. How freaking good is Mad?
Oh, it's gorgeous, as per usual.
Oh, dude, the latest chapter, Bob's decision, was so cool.
Because Bob's the main character at this point.
Yeah, and we
Like
we
everybody else
don't
is
even
dead.
know.
Uh,
We don't know what he looks like. He just looks like every other dude, just the big
he's
scar on his face or helmet.
yeah, yeah. It's like if suddenly one of the stormtroopers is the main character. It's just really sort of
Isn't that
left of
what?
field.
Isn't that what happened in the Force Awakens?
Kinda. I think they tried. They
Yeah.
tried. Um,
Yeah. No, I'm so down for this, and no idea what's happening and where they're going.
I don't think it's one of those series that has that defined like direction. I almost think this is a week to week thing. Like they're rolling out whatever happens from week to week because it's got that kind of
Surely not.
nuttiness to it. Like they'll have a general idea of where they're heading, but it feels like it's natural. That's what it feels like. It feels natural. Like the events that are happening and the characters and the way they're behaving, everything feels so natural, which is unusual for a shonen series, I guess, where everything feels like it's planned out. They'll do big speeches or they'll be inspired in a particular way. Whereas this series just feels like humans in a post-apocalyptic environment. What do they do?
Yeah.
They do this. They do this thing. They hate each other. They do terrible things, and
Just
they
getting these
yeah.
toys and putting them in a scenario and seeing what happens. You reckon?
I think that was the initial plan for it, and because of there's not a lot of text and there's not a lot of like words in the series. A lot of the series is very visual and very depicted on people's faces and so on and so forth. So it feels like it's more natural, I guess.
Yeah.
There aren't people standing around talking in the middle of an action scene, which it's such a Marvel DC thing to do, is to just start rambling in the middle of an action scene. And I find nothing more frustrating than that, because I'm like, you focus on the action. You can't say a sentence like that when you're mid swing. You can't.
It's just like this much text.
Like you get these massive loads of sentences when they're swinging a punch. I'm like, you can't do that. It doesn't even
You
look
can.
right on the page. It feels unnatural. and it feels forced and staged, whereas this feels really natural because people aren't talking in response to the action. They're just actioning, they're just doing things.
Things are just happening.
Yeah, it's action reaction. That's what's happening, and it gives it a really natural tone. That's the thing that I think I love most about the series, is the way it gives you that natural sort of feel about the environment, even though everything feels supernatural or that feels sci-fi or whatever is going on there. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. I'm starting to feel like it's local, like these aren't aliens, they're actually human developed species.
I reread the first chapter just the other day. It meteorite crashes.
Yeah, but what did it crash into?
And then
Aliens came out of all the meteorites, or just that meteorite?
It was just one. There was only one meteorite.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to reread the.
I'll reread it, but I'm just saying, like, what if it crashed into a facility where they had been experimenting?
No, it like crashes into like the middle of nowhere.
Coincidental. Yeah, that's the perfect place to keep a facility where you're just creating, terrible creatures. I'm just saying, it's kind of interesting that, the whole integration with the human species business is happening, and the aliens. All I'm saying is there's more to it. There's more to it.
If you think so. Why do you think so? You have no basis for this.
No, this is a guess.
It's just your.
I stopped listening to the music on this one. I am like speculating at this point because it's early on, and it's really random on a lot of it. What feels random, and I feel like 20 chapters in the future, it's not going to feel random. You're going to go, yeah, I see what you did there.
It's just kind of like. Well, it also seems like it splits off of a bigger comet. That's it. And they're already looking.
Okay, so it's one meteorite that hits the Earth. Why is there so many of them?
They breed.
Do they though?
You've watched evolution.
Yeah, I know, but if there was like a few hundred on this meteorite,
we would have
just dropped the goddamn nuke on these things. We would have just annihilated them in a second.
What if they're like rapidly reproducing, or
there's more to it. There's more to it.
Okay.
There's more to it. I just feel like there's a lot of, conveniences that have happened. So let me have my, crazy tinfoil hat man moment.
Right. I mean, it is still quite early, so we don't.
Oh yeah, it's way early. What are we on, like chapter 17 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. 18, I think, with the latest. Just really quickly, going to talk about Super Ready Battle Armor. Kickstarter is still in pre-launch. We are going to be going live no longer this week because had a family emergency. We're pushing it back a little bit. So you still have some time to get in for the pre-launch to get yourself some of the goodies that are available straight away.
That's right. Some of those goodies might be provided by me. I'm hoping you've been enjoying what I've been producing so far.
I have, dude, so much. So yeah, grab yourself sticker packs, pins, and the first official manga produced by Half Tone Productions.
Nice.
In Tunk format.
Proper
Always
format.
Fun. Yeah. Check the link in the description below. and in the comments in the live chat or whatever it is. Do you have anything else to talk about today, my dude?
Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, Asura's verdict. Okay, so sorry, no man, you haven't gotten onto this yet, have you?
No,
Like
no.
you
What
don't
is
even
this?
know what I'm talking about,
I have
right?
nope.
Okay, so
Nope.
yeah. So we're like 7 chapters into this thing. So I swear I mentioned this to you weeks ago, but I
This
haven't
is
brought it up
a
again since.
Jump Plus.
Yeah, Jump Plus, relatively new series. Really cool Bully Vengeance series.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, this one.
Yeah. So it's about this kid
Oh
who has
yeah.
like this really, really like justice oriented personality. Yes, there's one of those because it has some really, really brutal scenes on a bullying level, probably more so than anything else. So things are
Yeah. Okay.
pretty hectic in that sense. And basically, this kid gets bullied to the point of essentially snapping, like his mental state snaps, and his ideal is so hardline. It's like do good things, and good things will come to you. That's like his motto. That's his
Yeah,
saying.
that's like very Buddhist, isn't it?
I guess. I guess. And yeah, this is a good deed after all, right? Right? So basically what happens is he gets bullied like crazy, and then on the way home one day, he gets approached by a merchant who gives him a key that allows him to persecute those who are doing bad. So instead of
So it's Death
letting
Note.
uh kind of, but not quite as
Yeah.
vague. This is really, really sort of straightforward, hardline stuff. So he's given this key that allows him to open the gateway to hell to send people in. So he becomes the juror essentially and
Yeah.
the executioner of the whim of doing good things. And so what he sees as people repetitively doing bad things and not coming good, he then sends them to hell. Now, there's more to it. There's a lot more stuff going on in the background as you follow this kid, and he gets mixed up with other characters along the way. But he, the cool thing is every time he uses this key, right, he has to insert it into the forehead of the other person and then turn it.
Right.
And when he does that, it opens a literal gate to hell where a demon grabs them and pulls them into hell. And now you don't usually get to see what happens after that point, but there is one scene where they show you that these people are literally being pulled into hell. Like they're then, pulled down to the ground and burnt alive and then resurrected and then burnt alive again and continuously you've done torturous things too. And there's a dude standing there like, you've got another 10,000 years of this to go. It's initially it just seemed like a regular revenge series, but then the back characters started to come in and you started to get closer to new characters that had very different perspectives of what justice was and their idea of what um, freedom was and stuff like that. So it explores a lot of people's mental states and how serious that can be. And sometimes you just don't know what other people are thinking. You can think you know what they're thinking, but you just don't, because everybody's different. Everybody thinks differently, and it delves quite extensively into things like self-harm and suicide and all that sort of stuff. So it is dark, like proper dark
Yeah.
material.
I
So very
just
big
skipping
warning
through
on this series. Yeah.
having a look at some of the art.
If
There's a
you're
lot
going
of
through, yeah.
his female friend that passed and the dog, and yeah, cool.
Yeah, the dog moment is pretty heavy. And it gives me a little bit of Takopi vibe.
Yeah.
In the way of how dark it is.
Especially
So
when it does not look like it should be that dark.
No, in between the moments of all the bad stuff that happens, it feels like a very slice of life light series.
Also, the old man merchant is right.
It's the devil.
Cool.
It's the devil, essentially. What they haven't actually talked about yet is the little insignia that's happening on the guy's wrist. That every time he uses the key, this little insignia becomes more and more visible on his arm. So I feel like this
Okay.
might be a short series. Kind of hope it is.
You reckon like another Takopi? Where
Yeah,
it'll be pretty
2
short
or
and
3
concise.
times.
Who's
Which should be fine by
the
me. The feel. Utsugi.
I mean,
Urahana?
Takopi's just it's 2 tanks, but we got a
2
complete
big
volume.
tanks.
Like,
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. I've got the big boy.
yeah, yeah. We only got the big boy in the English volume, which
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed by.
I
But
know. I would have loved a hardcover set for that.
yeah, have them sitting side by side.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a good series. I love that series. So this giving me that kind of vibe about it, which is it's good. I've been really, really enjoying it. The characters are very well fleshed out, well thought out. I like to warn people before they read something like this that it is heavy. So if you are in a dark place, do not read this. Looking at Brad's expression, I would highly recommend not reading it if you're in that position.
No, I just saw that Takopi's Original Sin has got an anime, or will be getting an anime this year.
Nice. Ooh, have we got an announcement of studio or?
Anishiya, which did not a lot. I don't recognize any of this.
Well, hopefully that means that they
Actually,
the one
is that
that
Spice and
looks
Wolf?
familiar. Looks like Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's the studio that's doing Spice and
Okay.
Wolf. I hadn't seen the Japanese title
Ooh,
before.
their work looks nice.
Hmm.
But being a smaller studio, I guess that they might be able to get away with a little less censorship.
I'm just look at this.
Yeah, it's a nice visual. It's a nice kid visual.
Man, this is gonna break me.
It's going to break a lot of people. It really is.
So yeah,
If
there's
they
16
pull this
chapters.
off, it's going to be like the people are going to put it in line with like Abyss.
I wonder. Yeah, there's not really much information. It only was announced late last year.
God, I want that poster.
Yeah. Oh man,
That looks
I'm so excited
amazing.
now. Yeah, it doesn't say if it's going to be a movie or if it's going to be a short run series. I'm excited though. That's so cool.
Was it 2 tanks? That's a movie.
What did I say? 16 chapters.
16 chapters, yeah.
I don't know what I've done with it. It's here somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a movie length style series. I don't know if I'd like to see it even in 6 eps,
Yeah.
3 eps maybe. 6 might be stretching it. Oh, actually no,
So do
6
you
might be
reckon
okay.
they're already 7 chapters into Asura's verdict? Do you reckon it could be like another Takopi? Like only run for
I
like
don't look.
16 chapters?
Look, if it keeps pulling decent numbers, they'll probably do something to like make it last longer, which I hope they
Yeah.
don't. I feel like it could do better as a shorter series, as a series to remember over a prolonged period. I don't think it's. I don't know. How long was Death Note? That wasn't a super long series, was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was. They
Yeah,
dragged
man.
that crap out for how long?
The anime has like 50 episodes, bro.
I know. It's just
Oh,
it
actually,
feels really drawn out.
I might be over exaggerating that because it
Yeah,
did
but it
just
does. You're
say
not wrong. It feels drawn
37.
out.
It's 37
Yeah,
episodes.
that's too much for an environment like that, a story like that. To keep the tension
12,
unpredictable, it needs to be shorter.
12 tonks, 108 chapters.
Yeah, yeah. If they can wrap this up in 30, 40, I reckon I'd be happy.
I also didn't know that there
Um,
was spin-off movies that look pretty decent.
yeah, they've done so much stuff with that series.
Um,
Completely unnecessary, of course.
like wow.
Yeah.
I still wanted a light novel adaptation. That was really fun. I really enjoyed the light novel.
Yeah, it paced better than the manga series
It's just
or
a
the
single
series in
light
general.
novel. It's like yay
Oh,
big.
so much better. What? That makes way more sense to do it in a lighter weight sort of format. I feel like tension stuff holds up better when it's done in a shorter format. So it would make sense for it to produce that kind of material. So yeah, Astra's verdict, I hope is it going to be a shorter performance, but you never know. If it keeps up the popularity, it's still pulling 50K reads, which is a fair effort compared to a lot of the other stuff. So a lot of people are really sort of following along. So the popularity is same as Hero Organization and a few of the other higher ranking
That was anticlimactic.
series.
I can't find it.
No, that's right. I was just sort of plugging away with words. I was just saying that it's the shorter format's just going to be better.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be better for high tension, for high energy as far as emotion goes. Things that are shorter just perform better.
Yeah.
I think dragging that sort of stuff out just makes things predictable and a little bit boring.
Are you trying to attack One Piece or
Look, one. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Yeah. I really don't know what to think. I feel like One Piece is just the same story in different settings, which I'm probably not far wrong.
No.
I'll just spice it with a little bit of new lore. I'll just drop that in there. I feel like in One Piece's case, it could have been finished up a lot earlier. He just chose to stretch it out.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't meant to be any 7 warlords.
This is my
So,
point.
like,
It's like
there's
he's
a
just
few arcs
continued on
that,
and continued on and continued on. And that's fine on a format like that. Like, it can get away with that style of stuff. But
yeah.
things that require, to maintain tension need to be shorter. Like Vinland Saga, perfect example, right? So, first season, high tension, high impact. It did exactly what it was meant to do. And then the second season, they sat back,
They slowed you
they
down.
dramatically slowed you down, gave you more character development, more, of that style of environment.
Wait, have you finally
So
seen season 2?
Good, but yeah, I saw that ages ago.
Oh,
So that last
did we
year,
talk about it?
maybe even the year before. Yeah, I'm
Did
pretty
we
sure we
speak
did.
about
We would have
this?
talked about it. Surely enough. Surely
Oh,
enough.
dude.
We'll just...
So good.
Season 2 was really good.
There
I should
is
give it a
also
read.
the studio that did Arcane vying for the license for Vagabond. I couldn't remember what the title was.
Don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I mean, the fact that I think the creators already said I don't want that is a pretty big
indicator. Okay. Yeah.
Do I think that they could? I think that they could pull it off. But
I don't think they could. I really don't think they could. It might look cool. They might make something that looks cool.
I still haven't gotten around to watching season 2 of
Me neither. I haven't watched it either.
You haven't watched season 1?
I need to rewatch the first season again. I've watched season 1, but I haven't watched season 2. Yeah. Of Arcane. No. I had a lot of fun with the first season. I honestly didn't think it needed a second season. I know there's more lore to it. I know there's more structure in the universe that they have, but I was quite happy with just having the one. And that's me personally. So I'll probably maybe watch the second season at some point, but at some point in the future. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that a lot of these companies try to grab as much as they can out of something these days. IPs are so important for producing large amounts of cash that they continue to just, keep digging that resource until it doesn't give anymore, which is, something I find frustrating. So I tend to stop.
What was the studio that did Castlevania?
That was Production IG. I'm pretty sure. Or did they do Nocturnia, which is a different... No, they did Castlevania. They did. I remember seeing some Sakuga for it. Because that's all hand-drawn stuff.
But I thought that was an American...
It just has a real European vibe because of the whole setting.
You sure about that?
Oh, man. I'm going to eat my words. I swear they did it. Maybe they did a variation. You're just making me doubt myself or what? What's the go here?
Frederator Studios is an American
animation
TV production.
No. They did not do that.
Yeah. Yep.
The same company that did Adventure Time.
The same company that did Chalk Zone.
No.
Yep.
I don't believe you.
So
the point where I'm going to look this up.
I
don't trust you.
What is it? They're working on... Is it the new Devil May Cry?
You know what? I've seen the trailer for that. It's okay.
I'm not hearing good things.
No, I feel like Devil May Cry would definitely benefit from a much darker tone than what they were going for.
Actually,
It would benefit from the studio who did Arcane. Like I feel like that would work.
It is still so it's good. It's actually being handled by Studio Mer, the ones that did Avatar. So it's technically going to be a South Korean.
Really?
Yep.
The action did not look right for them. Those guys are really good at action.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Or maybe they've lost that team. Who knows?
I don't think I've got any more news.
No, I think I'm pretty solidly out of materials. I'm still looking to see if I can find out whether you're right about that.
I was on Wikipedia.
I don't trust Wiki. How about that?
Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I still can't find anything.
That
supports my idea. Because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, me being right.
Absolutely.
I can't. Oh, it was produced by Federator.
Maybe you're just living in a different timeline again.
I do that a lot lately, don't I?
Yeah, you do. You're like, no, I'm pretty sure. All right,
I saw
everybody.
some really great action scenes from that. Anyway, yeah.
Please make sure to leave any comments down below. Share the videos around to your friends, family. Help us grow the channel out. Don't forget to subscribe and do the notification bell thing. All those fun YouTuber thingies that we're meant to say. I probably should have said it earlier in the video, but I forgot.
We're new here, right?
Oh god.
Oh, it's past his bedtime.
Yeah, I'm just a little baby.
Oh.
I've been Brad.
I've been Logan.
We'll see you next week at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for episode 80.